especially if you see me traveling a cruise with all of my male friends, and that's usually, you know, it is what it is. Not much of a female person, but it does suck whenever. The thing is, mine was never because people did me dirty, or anything like that. So I keep my circle small. It's just that I realized a long time ago. You ever see those chicks like straight out of high school? They get married and they have 93 bridesmaids, and then within like a year, not one of those is left. Like, like you have a certain amount of friends in life, and like you can have 900 people know you, but only three are gonna be like left at the end of the day type thing. You know what I mean? I think everybody is kind of that way. I think everybody is kind of that way at some point, especially ages. I think a lot of people go through thinking because of commercials and TV and all this thing, they're supposed to have this enormous amount of friends or whatever. But most time it's all surface and suburbia bullshit and this myth around. Look, if you've got one or two friends, you're good, man. You're lucky, right? Right? And those are your tribe. Uh, but yeah, even those can do you fucking dirty, right? But me, there's nobody really. I mean, there's nothing to. You know what I mean? That's why most of the ones you hear speak about me are fucking assholes who don't even know me, dude. Or people around certain monsters. Yeah, that's a crew, I believe. Or monsters who have monstered around us for eons, and monster as well. So, like, yeah, that's who I believe, for sure. And even people who I guess public would assume would be closest to me, obviously by their own words. And that backfires, right? I mean, there are literally people I've heard speak. They might see me every day or every other day or something, but they have no fucking clue about anything. Never have, never will. Just because they see me or interact with me does not mean they do. So there's a reason you see what you do. Running stuff, or the neighbors in the community didn't even know that she was missing or didn't know anything about it. It's bullshit. They lied to all of you. And look what they did around Quentin and the rest of these cases. They tell you the same exact fucking lies and tropes and narratives every time. Very little deviation. Very little deviation. It's the same fucking soap opera. Just different names inserted. Front page everything. A Tragedy Pimpin will know almost immediately when the big one's happening, because of how far up our asses they all are 24 hours a day, right? Um, I can't imagine anybody with, well, the only person I've heard say that they don't want her found is Floppy's mom and a couple of the creators. But anybody who actually gives a damn does want her found and justice served. Who's you give men power anywhere, you know, and you're gonna have some of that. Every police department, every government office, even the smallest ones, you're gonna have pay for play shit. You're gonna have contracts handed out to buddies. You're gonna have even down have even down to school shit. Man, like, look, there's corruption and dirt in every area of government or anything like that. Once you give men power, it's just what happens. And it's up to us as voters and citizens to try to tamp down on as much of that as possible. You by making voices heard and voting correctly and caring about policies and um, who people are and caring about the little elections more than we care about figurehead elections. It's that simple. Um, yeah, Bella, she did have the balls apparently to say she hoped Summer wasn't happy. And then you've got Floppy even admitting to taking money to fuck around and push out false scenarios and push shit into Summer's case, you know, and do so online. And you literally, even after hearing that, have people flocking to that like it's the end all be all or has some real money, you know. That thing was around C&D personally and in their ears for months. And okay, but because of their tampering, it's like I and others around this were talking last night. And other days, many days throughout this whole thing, especially with YouTube, these creators doing what they're doing. These creators doing what they're doing. Their involvement to certain degrees in tampering with all of us. Us speaking is kind of one thing. It can be harmful in its own aspects, I suppose, right? It is in others. But what they choose to do with that is also a problem, right? But when you have people like that openly saying, uh, openly saying they're being paid or they're told to do things around summer shit, and then to pump it out to all of you all, and people are still like, they just act like they're blind, deaf, and dumb to that, and still partake and participate and cheer those motherfuckers on. But they're supposed to be here in this community because they care about these missing and murdered children, just like Summer, and yet they listen to somebody who's actively admitted to fucking up her shit or putting out false shit or, you know, being out of materials or whatever, and they're going to make up whatever and do whatever. In Summer's case, y'all make that make sense. I can't. Just the same as y'all turn to, which I mean, honestly, I know most here fit in certain criteria, so Fox is watched a lot, and they did have to change their shit to entertainment because of all the stuff surrounding them. However, it'd be like any other news outlet. Um, Everything we say is a fucking lie. We're being paid to tell you this, but you know, and then people listen to it, they would lose their shit. It's like people with the fake news call outs, right? This whole time because people lying, because people lying about it actually told them that, so they bought it. It's the same shit used over here. And honestly, you have all these channels at a certain point during Summer's case for the first time putting up warnings ish to try to stay out of trouble as a legal barrier. They're putting up entertainment purposes only. Don't listen to anything you say, like Salted and Bone. Trouble as a legal barrier. They're putting up entertainment purposes only. Don't listen to anything you say, like Salted and Bones and all of them. I think Bones was one of the first when it started getting, and they realized that there could indeed and might be real legal ramifications for it. So they're putting up disclaimers, like, but then they're still feeding it out, and people are buying it, and what they're doing is still, I'm sorry, but entertainment, warning labels do not prevent you from, if you're targeting a certain person or individuals or anyone and doing illegal shit and committing crimes, and you are absolutely doing the shit, it doesn't protect you from the shit they're doing. Right? It just doesn't. Crafters, they need to stand back and let the feds do theirs, and the other surrounding agencies for sure. But that's the thing. These people are not trying to do their jobs. They're trying to make their jobs fucking whatever. And they're out and on the ground and here locally, and they stay here. It's not to help Summer. It's to get more shit. Talk to this one. Do this. Do that. To target, torment, terrorize, harass, commit more crimes against those around Summer. In her case, that's it. They're here for Jerry Springer. They're not here for help or help or anything. They're here to be pains in the fucking ass and criminals and pieces of shit and monsters. It's kind of their thing. Yeah. And somebody from there goes like, no, no, you're young, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, well, still 900. Someday. was trying to get Pickles to play with him and go. Pickles was like, no, it's Pickles nap time. Mike's fully awake, going full tilt. Yeah, it does keep getting worse, and it's going to continue to get worse after unless people do something about it. Sure. And you can ask Two Crows, and if I can answer or want to, I will. Ow. Yeah, I did, but not when I went to search. No, when I was at the bottom of the driveway, the purse went down, left my feet to these like beach kind of tropical tire things I did to resemble the ones that you see at the beach, and that's where my purse stayed. And I've shown the purse that I had that day, it's still here. Um, but I had two phones, but neither had service on them. And let's make it clear, there's no service inside of Beach Creek either, like that. Mine only were used on Wi-Fi and with hotspots and things like that. Um, but yeah, the purse stayed at the tires, and as did the phones and everything around the top of it anyway, because they were sticking out. So were my medicines, things like that, for my cancer treatment, all that. Everything was there. And I know Ellie's seen that when they arrived, because it was really right there, and it was there for quite a long time. Really, Mike? And I don't know what you mean by you listened when I went to search. You had two phones in your purse. I was already walking down the driveway. Two Old Crows. You realize that I wasn't down at the bottom initially to search, correct? Are you aware of that fact? That I did not go down my driveway or leave my home or the cabin that day actively, like going to search, right? I was sitting in the cabin with my children when we heard the scream. Two Old Crows. That was quite a while before. Ended up at the bottom of the driveway and searching. Two Old Crows, what part of this are you not understanding exactly? You're trying to put together two events. The scream was quite a while before I was at the bottom of the driveway. Two Old Crows, you're asking me why I grabbed my purse. What the hell do you mean, why did I grab my purse? I don't know, probably because when I left my house that day and walked down the driveway, not knowing what was happening. Oh, dear fucking Christ. Two Old Crows, I'm only going to explain this to you one more time. And repeating it ain't gonna be it. Alright? The whole of this community knows by this point that the scream, the noise, was a while before I ended up at the bottom of the driveway. I was going to the bottom of the driveway, just like, the messages I've released between I and certain monsters shows that I was on my way down to the bottom of the driveway to meet him. Well, somebody named Two Old Crows LLC investigation just went, nah, or no, come on, you was sitting. Yeah, it's too young to be calling yourself Two Old Crows, and your bullshit's pretty apparent, so, yeah, bye now. Floppy oriented. Who's got all the troll counts tonight going? Anyway, ain't got time for that. Yeah, as y'all can clearly see, it was just a doofus. And probably a floppy troll at that. Anyway, and let's do recall that he helped C start that whole purse wallet debate that the feds had to come and they were like, I was like, ain't that really the stupidest you've ever seen? And we all kind of fucking agreed. And that was the day that Floppy also led C into pulling back her timeline and changing shit and, well, effectively tampering with and targeting folks and doing all kinds of other dumb shit because that's how smart he is, right? Yeah, it's super fucking genius. But then again, that could be just a fuck up and tamper with cases to where they destroy them and then they can keep latching onto them for goddamn ever as long as they keep these children from being found like Floppy's mama suggested that she hopes Summer's never found. Right? Disrupt, antagonize, fuck with shit tonight. And also make it look like every time somebody asks a question, because that's the big thing around here, isn't it, Azure? Anytime anybody asks a question, I block them or whatever. And when they do trolls like that I know damn well are creator driven, they do it on purpose, and that way it looks like people exactly what they try to make people believe. Which is that I just block anybody for asking any question or whatever. Right? It's not the case. It's because I know troll versus. And then others are just assholes, and so yeah, I will. There is that. Or those who want to eat. Yep, I sure will. And there are some every day that I know for a fact are nefarious little fuckers and, scent, or those fishing, or those who are really bad channels and creators hidden under their clothing, but I do even tolerate them to a degree and let them ask questions. And if you can't see that, don't realize either, but I do play with some of their fuckery sometimes to where, they think they're being cute and insane, unknown, or people think that I don't see what they're doing, and for the most part, my level of tolerance is pretty wet. It's pretty high. So, it usually takes a little extra to just immediately get fucking blocked or something. Oh, Jude, some shit never changes. As mothers, sisters, aunts, etc., in our capacity for empathy and things like that, and to be around things so sensitive to us, knowing that most of us are survivors of one kind or another, or those we love are, just because of statistics and what we know about each other. And children, it's kind of, but very few are my age or younger, very few. And for the life of me, I cannot figure out why women and such are over here to this degree participating in. I mean, like, we as mothers,